Hey, you've tuned into Math with Mr. C, and this time we're on Chapter 10. We're lumping two lessons together, and this one's called Understanding, Comparing, and Ordering Integers. The main thing that we're talking about is what is an integer, and how do we put them in order. And we're on to our first example, understanding integers. What are integers? You can compare integers to degrees of temperature measured on a thermometer. This is a great picture to help us understand today, and I'll be talking about that. When the temperature goes below 0, something happens to the number. It's written with a negative sign. 6 degrees Celsius is 6 degrees Celsius warmer than 0 degrees Celsius. Negative 6 degrees Celsius is 6 degrees Celsius colder than 0 degrees Celsius. I see that they're making a relation to going up is warmer and going down is colder. And when you go down, you have the option of getting a negative sign once you pass 0. The distance from 0 degrees is the same for these two numbers. Because they are the same distance from 0, 6, and negative 6, these numbers are called opposites. A number line can show numbers like on a thermometer. Numbers that are the same distance from 0 are called opposites. Integers are made up of the counting numbers, their opposites, and 0. If integers are the counting numbers, such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, would 7.6 be an integer with a clue word of fluffy pillow? I'm thinking, is that a counting number? When I'm counting numbers, do I go to 7.6? Do I go? No. So integers are only whole numbers. So I'm going to erase that. So integers, if you're an integer, it's whole numbers that have a negative sign. 0 and whole numbers without a negative sign, meaning they're positive. The last term that we're going to talk about today, and vocab notes come right after this, is the absolute value. The absolute value of an integer is its distance from 0. Distance is always positive. It's just how far is it away. So these two bars we're going to call absolute value. The way I would read that is the absolute value of 6 is 6. The absolute value of negative 6 is 6, because it's asking how far is negative 6 away from 0. And I see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore, it's 6 away from 0. Here are your vocab notes of the terms we talked about just previously. They should be on the counter, cut out for you. Please take this time to tape or glue these into your math notebook. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. Here's example 1. I want you to take a second and make this number line in your notes going from negative 10 to 10. Noticing how there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a tick mark for every number going up and down the number line. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. So first, I see we want to know what A is. Use the number line below for 1 through 6. We just have 4. Give the integer for that each point represents. Then write its opposite and absolute value. I definitely wouldn't have done that if I didn't read the instructions. Now I'd like you to take time and copy a chart just like I have here with A, B, C, D, and we're going to find the integer for each opposite and absolute value. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. I found A, and I see a negative 5 here and 0, so I know we're on the negative side of this number line. So I'm going to count negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. So the integer is negative 7. I want to find the opposite now, which basically you just, if it has a negative sign, the opposite does not, but they are the equal away from 0. Negative 7 and 7 are equal away from 0. The absolute value of negative 7, how far is that away from 0, is 7. And again, absolute value is distance, so it will always be positive. There will never be a negative in absolute value. B, I found it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The opposite, I'm adding a negative, negative 4. Absolute value of 4 is 4. And I'm filling the rest of these in. I see C is 0. This is a trick question. The opposite of 0 is 0, and it is 0 away from 0. there is no negative that is applied to 0. D, I see, is on the negative side, -1, -2. The opposite of -2 is 2, and -2 is 2 away from 0. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. Here's example 2. I want to talk specifically how to read signs, how to read these, because we're about to compare these numbers before I go on. Now, since you're doing the video, I'm going to trust that you're going to read these, whisper them to yourself, or in a group, one at a time, and I have them read right here. Just follow along with your finger in your head. 7 is less than 10. 5 is greater than -2. The absolute value of -3 is equal to 3. How else can I read these, Mr. C? What's the point of this slide? Well, it's meant to make it easier for you, even easier. Look for a second down here, and each time that it says greater, I'm actually going to substitute it with warmer. The temperature goes up. And if it says less, then the temperature is getting colder, it's going down. Now I want you to read again, whispering or out loud. 7 degrees is colder than 10 degrees. That is what this is. 5 degrees is warmer than -2. The distance -3 is from 0 is equal to 3. Think about that. The distance -3 is from 0 is equal to 3. That's how far it is away. So here are the problems for example 2. I'm going to let you write all 4 of these with a circle in the middle, and you're putting one of these signs in there to see if you can compare these correctly. I just want to remind you that this is what the signs mean. Showing you the answers in 3, 2, 1. 7 degrees is warmer or greater than -12. -3 degrees is warmer or greater than -9. I would rather be at -3 degrees outside. -8 degrees is colder or less than 0. I would rather have 0 money than -8 money. The absolute value of -2 is greater or warmer than -2. Why is that? Well, the absolute value of -2 is 2. That's how far it is from 0, and 2 is greater than -2. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. For this one, you are going to order 3 numbers. You're ordering them from coldest to warmest, or from least to greatest. I just thought coldest to warmest could help you think about it to make sense. Showing you the answer for 5 in 3, 2, 1. Here's the answer from smallest to biggest, least to greatest. Showing you 6 in 3, 2, 1. Showing you 7 in 3, 2, 1. Remember, the absolute value of -15 goes last because that's actually +15 is how far it is away from 0. Showing you the next one in 3, 2, 1. And there's the answer for number 8. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to click the link below for Khan Academy video and practice, and then you may choose one of these 2 options. Thank you for watching, and you're awesome.